So tonight I am reading Watering the Soul by Courtney Peppernell. It is in our darkest hour, when our soul feels most broken, that we are strongest. For in the moments we feel we cannot go on, we learn we are braver than we ever thought we were. This is the story of your soul and how it can be grown again. There was an enchanted forest on the outskirts of a house I once called home. Past the wooden fence, down the little dirt path, deep into the woods, I found myself one day. And here I met a small creature made of leaves and light and joy. And the creature studied me thoughtfully, with a long inhale, as though it knew of my plight and my long-lost tale. I knelt before the creature, my eyes filled with tears, and it asked me, "My friend, what is wrong? Why does your heart ache all night long?" So I said it was because I did not know who I was, in a world where so many people do. I said it was because I had truly lost all the things I'd ever known, how I felt so alone, no longer able to find shelter in my own soul, no longer able to find my way home. And the creature thought for a long while before its eyes twinkled in a way that could make even the most broken believe. And it replied that it knew what to do and what I needed to find all my hopes and dreams. As the creature closed its eyes, a song began, a melody rising up from the forest floor, and soon the creature handed me a small seed and took my hand. "Follow me," it said, "and together we will plant your soul once more." So deeper into the woods we went, one foot in front of the other, until I planted the tiny seed of my soul into the soil and promised it the world in all its color. I promised I would water the seed and watch it grow, that I would stand beside it no matter the season of rain or sun or snow. And the creature nodded, a smile upon its face, and said, "Remind yourself, to grow one's soul is a journey, not a race." And the creature handed me a recipe, a quest to find the ingredients and follow the steps, so I may find some much needed clarity. In the fading sunlight, on that warm spring day, with my recipe in hand and a soul to grow, the creature had one last thing to say. To grow means to leave much of what we believe to know behind, to move forward despite the darkness ahead, to slow down and breathe through every moment, to seek new paths, even if we are afraid, to find balance by embracing the silence, to forgive our mistakes, and to show our hearts and others more kindness, to look up and marvel at the sky and all its colors, to understand every road we walk is not alone but together, to have the courage to be patient with ourselves in the moments we need it most, to look within the deepest parts of ourselves during the longest parts of the night and search for our own light, to have the courage to understand that a seed is not grown with haste, and nor is becoming whole, that in each and every step we find the meaning of watering the soul. Let your journey begin. Let's see. There are many reasons to race through life, to hurry to the next moment, just as quickly as you burned through every moment before then. But there's such beauty in taking things in, the way the leaves change from season to season, the sky at dusk and dawn, a hand to hold and someone to believe in, butterflies taking flight, and the glow of the moon at night. If we slow down and take time to see, we will truly be reminded of the universe and all its beauty. The way the moon does not rush from behind the clouds, but merely waits for them to pass. Be that with your thoughts, let your mind breathe. You will always be learning, always be growing, and taking things in. When someone calls you beautiful, there will always be a small part of your heart that wonders if that word is meant for you. It will always be meant for you. You are beautiful in the way you breathe and carry on, beautiful in the way you show courage to the days that are dark and long, beautiful in the way you are meant to be heard and embraced and known. We view our life by running at it head on, by always chasing after one emotion to the next. We try to avoid pain by never acknowledging it, by always covering it up with people or places or things to do, but that never allows the pain to heal. It never allows the wounds to close over and create the scars that tell our stories. If we stopped and acknowledged the pain, embraced the pain as an emotion that belongs to us, in the same way our happiness and joy belong to us, then we wouldn't be always running. Pretty good so far. All my life I have been stumbling through moments, desperate to reach the next, without ever really finishing the moment I was currently in. What have I learned by taking a moment to breathe? Acceptance is a state of being. Listening isn't only hearing what you want to hear. Listening is acknowledging not all things will make sense, feel good, or be free from pain. But it is important to listen anyway. Listening leads to healing. Inhaling and exhaling is the soul's way of renewing. Each moment we take to stop and to breathe is healing. Spending time doing nothing is the best gift you can give yourself. I agree. Small details often give us reason to love harder, work harder, and be at one with ourselves. By rushing, we often don't see those small details. You will always have meaning. You mean something to the roses you admire, to the shore you stand upon, and to the salty air you breathe. You mean something to the sunset you marvel at and the smell of the rain you inhale. You mean something to the sun and the moon and the stars, which shine for you, and to the universe, which wouldn't be the same without you. Finding meaning in this world and in this life can be as simple as slowing down and realizing that just by existing, you already hold so much meaning in this life. That's a good one. I think that's my favorite one so far. And yeah. Time slows when I think about my name wrapped around the base of her heart, twisting and entwining, everlasting and binding. I could live for eternity in the warmth of her hands, the joy I feel from her laugh, and the hope I see in her smile. How she spends her days by the sea, gathering shells and dusting sand away from her shoes. She is a dream, comforting, alluring, and calming, every breath inside of me. Page 8. Page 8's the best. You cannot reach into the future and see what your heart feels any more than you can reach back into the past and change it. But you can hold your heart in the present. You can feel everything as each moment settles into existence. Listen to the way your heart feels in the present. The uncertainty and the doubt are always going to be there. You will navigate these thoughts day in and day out. You will feel overwhelmed, like the noise of the world is too much. But this is why to slow down is to accept that life is filled with many feelings. Some are beautiful and others are ugly, but they're all connected. Last one. It was as though you had blinked and suddenly the year was over. You had just been watching the countdown, sitting on your living room floor, wine bottles all around, laughing with the love of your life. Then you read the book you said you were always going to read, and you finally went to the opera and cried through the final act. You bought 7 new plants and promised you would buy a new pair of shoes. Those old loafers were worn. You never did throw them out. Then the love of your life left, and for a while it seemed like the world had stopped right alongside you, only it hadn't. The world carried on, and then winter came with snowdrops on windowsills and trees bearing it all before spring returned, promising so many new things the way it always does. And there was someone new and beautiful, someone who gently took your hand and danced with you, whispered that there was moonlight in your eyes. You never thought you would make it, but you learned something that year. Life could be more than surviving. It could be lived. All right, we continue tomorrow.